Hello there, people. Welcome back. This is J-Ro here, doing a quick video on the Elemental Sorcerer. So, Elemental Sorcerer's out. He's a pretty cool class. Figured I'd give my thoughts on it. I haven't really booked many of the talents yet. Um, I'm still recording this a little bit earlier on. Anywho, overall, the class is it it's less like Divine Knight and more like Siegebreaker in that it is probably something that you're going to hop on for a little while, build up its power of 10 talent, and then probably just get off onto another class, which is fine. This class by no means needs to be the meta killer or Divine Knight killer or bubonic conjurer killer. It is very cool to watch it fight, but overall, it its main selling points is this skill right here. Having polytheism allows for some really good sampling because you can have two sampling gods on. So overall, I think the class is going to be better suited for that, and then probably sitting back in lab. But let's go over the skills really quick just to get a good feel for them. First off, we have Meteor Shower, your go-to AoE skill. You'll want to max this out for fighting builds. I just got a one-off book because I honestly don't plan to sit on this class much longer. Anyway, next up, Lightning Barrage. Very, very strong scaling on the damage for this skill. It will probably be the go-to for damage pushing in just like one hit splat. So that's kind of cool. Radiant Chain Bolt. This is an interesting one. It is kind of like this skill will basically clear all the regular mobs as you're killing the portal mobs. We'll talk about portal mobs in a bit, but it's a decent skill, but not a high priority. You'll want to level it up as much as you can for the more extra bounces, but overall, you won't want it high up on the bar. Next up, we have the Wormhole. So, the Wormhole is interesting in that it spawns mobs when it's active, and the higher the talent level on it, the longer it lasts. However, you do not want it to last overly long because the portal mobs become practically impossible to kill for anyone just because of how the HP scales. And due to that, you'll want the portal to go away so that the portal mobs die. That way you're killing the regular mobs around the map instead of focusing all your damage on unkillable mobs, thus not killing anything on the map. So the portal generally, and I didn't come up with this by the way, this is information that came over from Deus Omnium, old time player. So he came up with that strategy, and yeah, it is pretty good. Like, basically, depending on what map you are and how quickly you cap out, so to speak, your portal kills, you'll want this higher or lower. Generally, it's going to be around level 100 to like 150, but again, it depends on your specific damage and how quickly you're capping out your portal mobs. My suggestion is to just spawn a portal like this, and then pay attention to how long it takes you before you stop really seeing the number go up higher. So at first you're going to get tons and tons of kills, but as they get higher and higher HP, the kills get slower and slower. So round for green mushrooms, 200 is around generally the damage cap because at that point they have just way too much health. So however long it takes you to get to 200, this is not an optimal build I'm running right now, so it will be faster or slower for some people. As you're killing these portal mobs, it will respawn regular mobs. As you can see, every kill for a portal mob I get, it respawns one of the regular mobs on the map. So you'll still want to be clearing the other mobs to spawn crystals. But basically around here is when the portal mobs will start becoming unkillable. About like 190 or so, maybe like 210. My damage is not particularly high on this character right now. I'm still wearing like rags basically. But yeah, around 200, the portal mobs just become very tanky. So I went through about the whole duration of the portal here, but that was because my character was focusing down the bottom. So just look at your portal and basically go from there. Um, anyway, chaotic force. This is just more damage effectively. You'll want to have that as high as you can. Oh, and by the way, the portal you can have it way higher um, in the lower worlds, but in like World 5, for instance, if you're using portal there, definitely would want to have it a shorter duration, or else because those mobs become unkillable basically way faster. So anyway, chaotic force, more damage. You'll want to raise up your attack speed as much as possible. There are various ways to do that. Alchemy, keychains. I don't recommend using attack speed keychains, but if you want to, go ahead. Um, Believer strength, it's just some damage. It's not a particularly impressively high damage talent, but damage is damage. So if you have excess points, you can go ahead and put them there. Then we have the same ones for these classes. The family guy is actually a pretty interesting one because getting bonus talent levels is actually very massive. Highly recommend having this maxed out as you can. I plan to book that soon. Polytheism again. This is the standout skill to me. For this, basically, depending on what your main god is, so basically for sampling, I would recommend the snake deity and Arctis, the bear deity, as those will give you the largest increase to your samples taken. And if you're fighting with them, I recommend Arctis, as higher talent levels makes active combat better, and Harry the printer god. Uh, as it should be, as long as it works properly. Arctis plus Harriet will also give you 6x prints while you're outside of the lab, so you can AFK farm levels to boost up your overall family bonus as well. That's my recommendation. You can do a couple other things. The only tidbit for this is you can't double link the same god, and you can't link permap with polytheism ever. You can also go underneath Omnifao, the elephant god, and de-level this. But you can also just use a talent reset potion as well. Shared beliefs, it's fine. It's just divinity XP gain. If you're pushing divinity levels, it's nice to have, but again, not a high priority. Damage per god rank. This is basically after you've unlocked all the gods. The problem with this skill is god ranks are unreasonably expensive for a relatively small damage bonus. Honestly, I don't recommend putting any points into this unless you have just a really excess amount of points. Wormhole power. This is the percent, or this is the power of 10. Um, what's it called? Skill for this class. It gives you multiplicative damage. I believe it gets downscaled after a certain point, so it's nice to have, but overall not a huge priority. It is very fast getting wormhole kills at green mushrooms. That's why I'm here right now. As you can see, you can kill a lot more portal mobs than you would be able to, for instance, in World 5. The portal mob's HP scales based on the mob that you're killing's base HP. So the lower HP mobs, the easier the portal mobs are to kill. So if you want to farm this to get some easy damage on your account, go to green mushrooms, leave it there for like a couple days, and boom, bam, you're good. And then obviously symbols of beyond will maxed. So overall, class is cool. It is again something, I guess, a 250. I haven't really paid attention to active on this class, to be honest. It looks cool. It's just not very useful because I don't need more damage personally. And the wormhole mobs cap out way too quickly and makes it so that you can't really spawn crystal mobs unless you leave the talent lower leveled if you're in later worlds. So it's actually pretty difficult to XP farm on this character. It is good for base mob drops in World 1 and probably World 2, but honestly, the Divine Knight and the Bubonic Conjure probably beat it in World 3, 4, and 5 in terms of if you want mob drops. And for rares and other things, Divine Knight just vastly outperforms them. For money, Bubonic Conjure is still the go-to, so Overall, there isn't too much reason to actively farm this class unless you're pushing this bonus, which is fine. It doesn't, again, like I said at the beginning, it doesn't need to be the go-to active class. However, this is a nice little uh, change that Lava made, which is mana is life now gives multi-kill per damage tier, which is quite nice. This actually turns Elemental Sorcerer into probably the best green mushroom farmer in the game, which is really cool. You can actually AFK a lot of kills because, I mean, 26 multi-kill per damage tier is not to be, scoffed at. That is a good amount of multi-kill. So, yeah, overall, it is an interesting class. It a little bit more interesting than Siegebreaker to me. It looks really cool to active. The skills play very well. This is by no means an optimal talent bar. Realistically, I would have it something like this. This is mostly just something I was messing with. This further back, probably something like, I guess put Portal first, and then Meteor, Lightning Strike, and then Volcano Tornado, probably, is what I would go to. This is, I'd have to test multiple different builds, but I think this is what I would end up going with as far as being optimal is concerned. The Arcane Bolt, it's just, it's good for clearing regular mobs, but it doesn't really kill portal mobs insanely well after once they start becoming difficult to kill. So it is nice. um, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I just had a thought. The family bonus is another thing that I recommend trying to level up your sorcerer for. It's a pretty strong family bonus, to be honest. AFK farming XP in World 5 isn't honestly that bad. You could probably get to level 400 doing that without too much trouble. Um, so once you're done farming portal kills, I recommend going that route. Um, and so yeah, overall cool class. I Oh, the last thing is you could probably use a spear on this class as well, just to get into melee for tornado on Flora's lava. But using a wand is fine. They have so much AOE and long range skills that the wand is okay. Plus you need wand for lightning barrage. So if you're farming later worlds and you'll need that lightning barrage's damage, definitely. But I haven't tried spear basically. I just think it would be okay. Anywho, that is basically all I've got to say on this class. Honestly, there's not too much else going on. The portal, it's cool as you can see. It looks really fun, but mostly it's just going to be an AFK character, in my opinion, which is cool. Anyway, I will probably be putting out another video later this week, so hopefully this helps. I just wanted to, get this out. As I said, I would make a elemental sorcerer build video. So, well, anyway, hope everyone has a nice weekend, and thank you for watching.